It's been a very long time since a game in the immersive sim genre really made waves. Back in the 90s, you had games like Ultima Underworld, Thief the Dark Project, and the original Deus Ex that championed a fresh and original design philosophy, one that put the player at the center of the game's intermingling systems, so the plot was organically grown by their hands, instead of stringing them along a preset storyline. These games were critically beloved, but ultimately sold poorly, and so the genre fell into decline. Okay, but why the history lesson? Games like Dishonored and the Deus Ex reboots revived the genre for a modern audience, and they sold really well. And yeah, they revived the genre by retreading and streamlining old trodden ground. But what lies beyond the seemingly rigid boundaries defined by these other games? Enter Ghost Story Games. You guys. As I understand it, you were founded to specifically test the limits of what this genre can do. You know, for the glory of interactive systems, etc., etc. But something's missing. In his GDC 2014 presentation, Ken Levine spoke at length about this concept of narrative Legos that you guys are experimenting with, to wield player-driven interaction as the building blocks of a huge and dynamic macro-narrative. And that's incredible. But this is newly plumbed ground, and there's all kinds of ideas to explore, all kinds of ways to break the boundaries. That's where I come in. You see, while striving for my degree in game design from Full Sail University, and leveraging my personal history as a novelist, I made it the focus of my academic career to personally experiment with the ideas that Ghost Story is spearheading. In fact, my team and I successfully prototyped a project built from your ideas, albeit on a smaller, more intimate scale, of course. Consider it a beta test for the grander work that you guys have been tackling.
Introducing Night at the Masquerade.
It's pretty simple. Imagine if Zelda Majora's Mask was a dating sim. Well, okay, it's not about seducing anyone, but rather forging the bonds through meaningful dialogue between you and the cast of characters. Now, of course, in narrative Lego style, each character has their own set of micro-passions and relationship thresholds. However, the game runs on an actual time clock mechanic, and the zero-sum nature of the design means you can't bond with everyone without unfortunately snubbing some of them in favor of others. The plot grows organically through the moment-to-moment decisions you make. Okay, let's go back to this guy. According to Ken Levine, the system narratives of this design demand that 1. Narrative elements are non-linear and interact with each other. And sure enough, in this game you're free to engage with any character of your choosing at any given time. An inter-character drama can and will arise, as small actions ricochet and build off of each other. And 2. All narrative elements trigger as a clear consequence of your actions. You pick your friends, you handle the consequences. The bonds you forge and the thresholds you hit will affect where everyone stands when the climax strikes at midnight. And in true narrative Lego fashion, everything then fires off in a chain reaction. The exact nature of the climax varies depending on where everyone is in relation to each other. What happens? Well, I invite you to try it out. There's a free download of the project on my website. Give it a shot. Who will you befriend? Who will you betray? Anyway, Night at the Masquerade was only possible due to the ideas posited by you guys. Yeah, you. Round of applause for Ghost Story Games, well done. The future of video game narrative has never been brighter, and to me, Ghost Story represents the true untamed frontier of what's yet to be achieved. So let me ask you, what do you think is possible? Where can we take these ideas? Where can video games take us as people? How can we break the boundaries? Why don't we find out together?